Hello from Bosnia. I'm here in the Google Street View car, about to drive around Sarajevo and add a whole new section of the world to Google Maps.
But why is the Street View car in Sarajevo in the first place? You might think Google has already mapped the entire planet, but they actually have a lot of ground left to cover until they have not only a map, but Street View level data of every country in the world. Even for a company as rich as Google, this is an incredibly expensive and tedious task. To save them some money on this project, I volunteered to help them build their map. I carried the Google Trekker backpack in Central Park, I rode through all of Sarajevo in the Street View car, and along the way, I discovered the other biggest name in map making that you've never heard of.
By the end of this, you'll be able to go on Google Maps and actually see my contributions live. But I've got a lot of driving to do before then. So get in, losers. We're going mapping. Actually, I have to get in the back too. They're not going to let me drive. Hey, Ethan.
Hi, Macy.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to learn more about maps today. All right, we've got the map pulled up here. One of my first questions is, how do you decide what to show me on the map? Why are we seeing these things on the map at this zoom level?
We always try to show you the most relevant things on the map when you open it up and when you zoom in.
Like something like 235th rooftop bar, shout out, I guess. Is that just a popular bar? So of all the bars, you're like, people like this one?
It's a popular bar, yeah.
Is that kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy?
We don't just look at what shows up and what people click on. We look at what people search for. We look at where people go to visit. And so there are a lot of signals that go into showing you the most relevant map.
I guess with Street View specifically, how do you turn the pictures into Street View, like one cohesive image?
It's done using a process called photogrammetry, which has been around for more than 100 years, but we're doing this at such a scale. It's kind of like solving the world's largest jigsaw puzzle. We also have imagery from airplanes, we have imagery from satellites, and we have to adjust and align all of this stuff to make one seamless puzzle.
How often is the map updated?
The map is always being updated, every moment, in real time, everywhere around the world. That's how we have real-time traffic. That's how we know real-time if your train is late in the morning. That's how we know how busy a particular bar or restaurant is. It's always being updated, and the map is very much alive.
Okay, so this brings me to my main question, and really all my questions, which is, why is it worth it for Google to invest so much in mapping? It takes a lot to do what you guys have done. Why is that worth it to you?
So Google's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful, and that includes all of the real world's information too. So it's helping you decide where to go, right? So we should know about all the world's places and how to get there. And this also powers all of the Google Maps sustainability initiatives. And one of the things we do is we have a program called Project Sunroof that lets you analyze what's the solar potential of a particular roof or building.
That's crazy. It feels like you guys are the only people in the world that would be able to do that.
And it's because we've invested so much in having this map with all of the knowledge of all the world's buildings and what are roof materials, and we're able to do that at scale. So Google Maps is both a consumer product, which is what you use every day, but we also have developer products. So we have APIs that developers use to build their own apps or websites. We have more than 10 million of them out in the wild, and they serve more than 2 billion of their own users every month.
If we want to talk about why is it worth it for Google to invest in all of this, then the API and ads on maps are obviously a huge part of that and one of the most direct ways that Google recoups their investment. Huge companies like Uber have special contracts, which normally aren't disclosed, but thanks to Uber's 2019 IPO filing, we know that they paid $58 million over 3 years for access to Google Maps API.
We've really taken the map from being this static thing that you unfold or print out from the screen to carry with you to this map that's always up to date and alive and helping you wherever you are. And a key capability that we have for Street View is our Trekker that lets people carry around a Street View camera on a backpack to collect places that a regular Street View car couldn't go.
Gee, I wish I could get to do that. We're here in Central Park and we have the Trekker and it's so huge.
Ready to check it out?
Let's open it up.
All right. All right.
It's just what I always wanted.
Want to collect some imagery of Central Park?
Yeah, how much does this weigh? Should I have trained for this?
That's about 40 pounds.
Totally.
Yeah, manageable.
Manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought when I heard the number 40 pounds. Okay,
All right.
good start. Should I stand?
Yep, you can stand
Okay.
up. And you want to wear it just like a hiking backpack?
Oh my god. All right, so now I'm just gonna walk around and like contribute to Google Maps.
That's right. We're going to collect real street view imagery of Central Park. That'll be on Google Maps.
Let's go. All right.
All right.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. We'll take it slow.
Yeah. I do feel top heavy. It's a strange balance to get used to. Am I supposed to walk at this pace?
You can walk pretty much any pace you want. It
Okay.
will take about 2 frames a second. It has all 7 cameras firing.
Yeah.
And it'll adjust exactly when I take the picture based on how fast you're going, how bumpy it is.
Obviously, there are a bunch of people around, private people enjoying their days. Are there any rules we have to follow capturing this imagery of them out and about?
Yeah, so we only collect street view where we're allowed to. This is in public places, or if there's a private place, we have to make sure that we're allowed to be there. But for all the people here who are in the park, everyone's face gets blurred automatically so that there isn't any private information in the imagery.
So that's part of the processing that's done that takes like a month or 2.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty heavy. I'm kind of getting tired. But is this lighter? I know this is a new one. Is this even lighter than they used to be?
Yeah, we've gotten them to be lighter and lighter over time. All the hardware gets to be more compact, the frame gets to be lighter. We actually have a new camera that's driving around on our cars now, and when we turn that into a backpack, it will be even lighter than the one you're wearing now.
We should have done the video then. Are there any other improvements to the camera besides making it easier to carry around?
Yeah, so we're always working on the optical quality with
Yeah.
the lenses and the sensors, and we have these laser scanners, the LiDAR units, that are really great in close urban environments, so you can tell exactly how wide a street or a sidewalk is.
I'm not tired. I wish I could run. Has anyone run a marathon with it? I'll do that.
I don't know.
I'll hike a mountain.
You could be the first. We have hiked mountains with these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have hiked mountains? So what are your goals with Google Maps? What are you trying to do? What's left?
So we joke that we're trying to map everything, everywhere, all at once. Everything is like going really deep. We want to bring you inside of your favorite bakery or down into the transit station. We want to take this everywhere around the world because there are countries that don't have good enough maps yet. And we want to keep this fresher and keep it up to date. So whenever you come to Google Maps, it reflects the real world as it is today.
So we've seen that map making is very technically challenging, but they're a tech company. That's easy enough for them to work out. Let's look at the cultural and ethical dilemmas that come with trying to declare the location of every border and the name of every landmass in the world. Or rather, how they claim to take no stance at all in their presentation of the world. Border and naming disputes have happened all over the world. Sometimes it's because Google was working with old data, like the border dispute between Nicaragua and Costa Rica, which nearly started a war in 2010. Sometimes Google is caught in political situations where there is no consensus, just a country's preference, like Iranians asking for the Persian Gulf to no longer have the subtitle of Arabian Gulf. Google's initial response to this was just to remove the name altogether. But now they've implemented their favorite geopolitical strategy of showing you a different map depending on where you're accessing it from. Reminds me of another Gulf with a naming dispute right now. When this problem came up in 2020, Ethan told the Washington Post, "We remain neutral on issues of disputed regions and borders and make every effort to objectively display the dispute in our maps using a dashed gray borderline. In countries where we have local versions of Google Maps, we follow local legislation when displaying names and borders." Not everyone agrees with this strategy, though. One critic says, Google's methodology for fixing borders and naming key features is completely unregulated and deviates from traditional mapping doctrine. Google customizes its maps to adhere to each individual country's beliefs and laws so that its maps do not show a single and objective reality, but rather affirm existing perspectives of the world. At the same time, I wonder how we would feel if massive tech company Google did take a firm stance of its own in these political disputes. With the Gulf of America, for example, Google made this change following the US federal GNIS, which made the change following Trump's executive order. So in the US, they show the Gulf of America, and to the rest of the world, they show 2 names. So should Google ignore the federal mapping guidelines of this country? Should they show the whole world the same map that they're showing the US that has the new name? Should they show everyone both names? What if another country comes up with a name for it? What is Google supposed to do here? These are the things that Google is trying to navigate, and I don't know if there is one objective answer. But this is the point. Maps are not absolute truth. They're one way to present data, and the company making the map has to make choices about how to present the data. So you should be aware of these choices and how they're being monetized and how they shape your view of the world. For the record, I think Google Maps is on par with the moon landing in terms of awe-inspiring human projects. You can go anywhere in the world and not be lost. How ridiculously cool is that? We've taken one of humanity's oldest problems and we've just solved it. This does not, of course, absolve Google of the issues that come with having created this map, but it is worth mentioning that I do think this is an overwhelmingly positive creation. All of these issues that result from mapping the entire world are not reasons that the map shouldn't exist. There is just, unfortunately, nuance. So Google makes the world's most in-depth navigational map. But who makes all the other kinds of maps? Like the ones that companies or governments might use internally to decide where to build a new housing development or drill for oil. Who's making those maps? Welcome to the world of ESRI, the biggest name in map making that you've never heard of. ESRI has been described to me as the Canva of map making. You drop in your data and it gives you templates to choose from on how it might be displayed. It's the industry standard. ESRI was used by Johns Hopkins to create their COVID tracking map that was accessed by 1 billion people daily in 2020. Amazon and Walmart use it to analyze customer trends and data. Exxon, Shell, Chevron, and BP all use it to manage infrastructure and plan where they're going to drill for oil next. And I can't prove it, but I can imagine that BP might have had a map at one point of oil-covered little ducklings. Even though these aren't maps you'll ever see, they absolutely affect you. So I wanted to see how the software they're all built on affects them. So we went out to Long Island to help a professional cartographer map a state park and let me use ESRI for myself.
Can't do that with the Google backpack.
So the map has all of this data where I can understand what's in our collection. We're 691 acres. It's impossible to know how many trees or what trees are in our collection at any moment.
Yeah, wow.
So when I'm sourcing and looking for trees to plant in the future, I can simply go to our map and see what we do have, what we don't have, some of the gaps. And that really informs me on what we're going to purchase for the next year.
Cool.
The gear for this is obviously much lighter than Google. This Trimble backpack I'm wearing just collects precise location data but no imagery and retails for a few $100s. Then the backpack syncs with the iPad where we're logged into the ESRI app.
Let's log some damage on this tree. It's unfortunate that it happened, but it's important to log.
Exactly.
Not log the tree, like cut it down and turn it into logs. Don't even.
No, that would never happen.
No. And it's called cutting arboretum, and it's not because you cut the trees down, that's the people's name.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna find this tree on the map. If you see, there's our blue dot. So let's map the damage. Fallen limb.
R.I.P.
And we're gonna just write Jan 2026. Photo here. And then it's captured. And this data gets straight right to the map. So anytime we need to look up what happened to this tree over the past year, all this information's here. So this is a black oak, Quercus velutina, that's the Latin name. It's one of the oldest trees on the property. It predates the manor house, so it's well over 150 years old. But it is still growing, so we want to see how big it's gotten in the past few years. The last time we did a measurement was in 2019.
Okay, wow.
So we'll see how much larger it's gotten.
This is exciting. Let's do it.
What does it say?
Oh my God, it shrunk.
How
big was it before?
It was 43 inches before.
Oh, okay, no, it grew.
It grew, okay. So
Okay.
I would say roughly 46 inches.
Okay, so I'm in the ESRI app. I'm gonna zoom into the tree I'm on. Oh, and this is the problem with not having the satellite imagery that we were talking about, that this is summer and then we zoom in and now it's winter and this building wasn't built yet.
Exactly. The next level, I think, in modern technology is drones. I think that's how we're going to be getting satellite imagery.
Oh, so if you all could fly your own drone over this park.
And take the most up-to-date photos.
The most up-to-date photos, and from a lower level where it would be even more detailed.
Exactly.
But then you got to do the photogrammetry, you got to stitch it together.
Exactly.
I know all the industry words. Let's go back inside.
Sure.
And let's talk more about these maps. Cool. I have more questions. The beautiful thing about filming at this state park is that it was originally a very rich family's home, and so now we're sitting in their home warming up to keep talking about maps.
Yeah, so this is Mrs. Cutting's bedroom. Her and her husband started this arboretum in 1886, so it feels like full circle to be sitting in her bedroom a little bit.
Yeah, I have a lot of feelings in here. Have you ever used anything other than ESRI? Is that really like the number one go-to?
So ESRI is definitely industry standard. And even going through school and all of that, I was introduced to other types like QGIS and Mapbox and such, but ESRI is, industry standard.
Is there anything that ESRI doesn't do that would then affect all of the maps made by ESRI that you're just not able to capture in it?
Yes and no. I think ESRI has a really, really robust amount of ways to collect that data and show data, but I don't feel like you can be that creative in your map making. Because some maps you want to look beautiful, right?
Yeah, like I guess the map of this park that you're like presenting to the public, you want to be, you know,
Yeah.
all dressed up. But ESRI doesn't allow you to do that?
There are certain ways, but they're a little bit more difficult, more expensive. You may be having to buy other software and inputting it, like Photoshop, Illustrator, that nature. And that's just like more information, more knowledge that you need.
With ESRI, you don't have to be a cartographer to make a map. Do you think that that is good or bad for map making, that people who have never been taught to think critically about map design specifically are now designing maps that are used to make a lot of decisions?
I think it's good with accessibility. I think everyone has a story they want to share, and if they can, that's great. I think there are certain thresholds that you reach that it's just not easily viable. There's definitely more work that could be done to make it even easier for people.
But net positive that there could be more community map making.
Absolutely.
Do we look really graceful as we walk, and every step is crazy?
1, 2, ready, go.
All right, what up from Bosnia? We are kicking it Sarajevo style this afternoon, and I have decided that this afternoon while I explore on my own, I'm not using Google Maps. So I just got a map at the hotel. So I'm down here, I need to cross the river and go up to Marsalatita, and then walk over to the old town, which is over here. I don't have a lot of faith in myself, but I also don't have a goal of anywhere that I'm really trying to go, and I really do have the whole day, so should be fine. Okay, I was briefly lost, but now I am found. I happen to know that this is the National Theater right behind me, which I know because I have seen it on Street View. And I know you're thinking, Macy, how did you see it on Street View if Bosnia has never had Street View before? They've never had official Street View. They have had unofficial Street View.
So before Google actually does Street View mapping of a country, they accept crowdsourced data from like anyone who wants to contribute it. For example, Daehan. You might be wondering who spends their time doing Street View data. Many, many people. Some of these people are just mapping enthusiasts or just really get a high from being a Google Local Guide Level 8. Some of these people own small businesses that they can then advertise in their little bio here from anyone who's looking around, real estate agents and stuff. Some of them are like local city councils who know that it's helpful to potential tourists to have this information available. This guy has a photo on the Sarajevo National Theater, and when I translated it, it says, I take pictures, it's a hobby of mine, and I try to help as many people as possible on Google Maps. Google Guides are here to help you. I guess it's sort of like, you know, my life is forever going to be split into before this moment and after this moment. It's like, my life is now bisected into before I ever saw the Street View car and after.
This is Emily. She's a Street View product manager and our guide for the day. And this is Mirza. We're going to talk more with him at the end of the day, but the craziest part of our entire trip to Sarajevo was learning that Mirza is a Morning Brew super fan and has been watching the channel for years. So he was really surprised when I showed up at his job in Bosnia. I met up with them in Sarajevo to watch the tail end of them adding Bosnia to Google Street View for the first time.
What made now the right time to map Bosnia?
Well, we've already finished the surrounding countries, so it made sense to go ahead and finish out this area, especially while we're already here.
But who do you even reach out to? You just like email info@bosnia.com or?
For Bosnia, we were able to work with the Ministry of Transport, but in other countries, it might be the tourism board or even a completely different entity.
Yeah.
Again, each country is so unique in the way they operate. The authorities in Bosnia were super helpful in opening Bosnia and making Street View possible here. The Minister of Transport actually offered to help in case we ran into any difficulties, but luckily things went as smoothly as we could have asked for here.
Now it was time for my favorite part, getting out of the car to let it drive past and get pictures of us, also known as Easter eggs. I found out while we were shooting that it was Emily's birthday.
It's crazy that it's your birthday.
I know. Happy birthday, Emily.
So we set up for the first of our Street View Easter egg shots in honor of that. I made this little sign and everything, and you can't even see it on the map. Happy belated, Emily. I was on my 4th Dramamine, and it was time to keep going.
So Street View Bosnia is online. It's done. It only took a few months, which is crazy to me. How many cities is it?
27 cities.
That's...
And I mean, I don't really think you can ever be done mapping since the world's always changing.
Yeah.
So we've done our first release. Now we have to keep it updated.
I'm kind of hungry. Should we do lunch?
Yeah, we can get lunch.
Okay, I think I heard about a place that hasn't been mapped yet. I think we should go there. Stravo. Yuridan Bash menu. Coca-Cola. What do you want?
Curly fries?
Okay. Curly fries.
Možda meni, gospođo, baš spicy burger, veliki meni, sa Coca-Colom Zero.
Pay no attention to the camera on the roof.
She hasn't noticed it at all. Lala. Okay, I'm good to get back to mapping. I'm ready.
Obviously, I had to do another Easter egg here, and luckily you can kind of see my sign this time.
One of the things I didn't realize is that Street View is used to update Google Maps. How does that work?
We have multiple pipelines that actually look at the imagery and derive insights based on that. So for example, where we're driving around Old Town now, when we drive by with Street View, we're able to use AI to say, okay, that's the name of the business on the storefront. If there's hours posted, we can update the hours. You see all the signs on the side of the road.
Wow.
So our systems are able to look at it and say, okay, we can use this to update our map.
That's really interesting.
A map is only as helpful as it is accurate. So when we refer to the ground truth, it's just making sure that we have the most up-to-date and accurate map possible to make sure that when you look at something on the map, when you actually get there, it had all the information that you needed.
And then finally, we got an Easter egg that did work perfectly. You can see me, you can read my sign, and then you do a little turn, and there's Sean.
So the only tech on the car besides the camera is the screen inside and the thing that connects to the driver's phone. And then this whole thing just connects to a roof rack?
Yep, any car with a roof rack.
So has that made mapping so much easier that you don't have to ship a car to different countries?
Absolutely. It's so much easier to ship a camera,
Yeah.
get a phone, a magnet, and then you're ready to map the world.
I imagine much cheaper too. This cannot be a cheap project.
It definitely helps.
One of the most innovative aspects of this car is the way that the camera gets power. The cord runs down here from the top, inside the car, and you might be wondering how it's able to pass through. It's actually done through a method called slam the door on it. This is a method where the cord is here, and you slam the door on it.
And finally, the best part of the day, I got to sit down, have a coffee with Mirza, and learn about what it was like for him to drive around Bosnia for the last 3 months.
So Macy, we are in Sarajevo with the fancy, I wouldn't say, but the East meets West line.
Yeah.
The base mosque. And the saying is, if you drink water from here, you will definitely return to Sarajevo.
I guess I should drink water from there.
I think you should. Well done. So now we
I'm
know
always coming back, baby. Sarajevo every weekend.
Now we know Macy's coming back. I know you could have selected any of the cities within 110 or more countries that is Google is covering, and I'm really proud and feel privileged that you selected Sarajevo to do this piece on the Google Street View.
I'm so happy too, and you're such a good guide of Sarajevo.
Thank you. Being such a good guide, this is Kolobarahan.
Are you excited for Bosnia to be on Street View? Like, is it fun that your own country is there now?
I'm very excited, and I'm thinking also the benefit the Street View will bring to the small businesses, and I think it's great to boost the tourism and give small local businesses the exposure they need. So I think it's a great thing, and I'm really proud and privileged that I'm part of it.
I love that. Hey, cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
I feel like this is meant to be eaten while you're smoking a cigarette.
Sure. You don't have to ask twice. You were spot on how you're supposed to enjoy the Bosnian coffee. See.
The Bosnian coffee cigarette combo.
now it's an authentic Bosnian coffee experience.
I freaking love Bosnia.
I love Bosnia too. I wouldn't have guessed in my wildest dreams that I would be doing an interview with you for the cold. For the morning brew. I was like, I watched a lot of the things on the channel, and I was like, cool. But I never thought it's gonna happen here, or especially to me. So
No one ever expects me to show up at their job, but I will show up at your job. I'm coming for all of you.
cool.
No one ever expects it. All right, now it's time for the most exciting part of this whole project. I have created a museum here in Central Park that is going to be captured in Street View and live on Google Maps and Google Earth, and you're going to be able to click through it. It's really just my coworkers standing along the sidewalk with signs about map facts, but I'm so excited. It's a museum to the history of mapping, and you can go play in it in Google Earth now.